I'm a used car dealer and I sell cars that are $5,000 and under, and lately we've been extremely slow, so much so that I've been forced to lower my prices. But even that right now is not helping. People are still not buying these cars and they're still sitting here. So traditionally around this time we are a bit slower going into summer. That's just what happens in the car market. But right now it seems like this year is way worse than it is usually. Now I'll just go back and tell you what typically happens. We go through spring selling season, people have their tax refunds, they have more money at that time of year than they'll have the whole rest of the year. So they'll come and they'll spend money on cars. And even the people that have money, well, then they've got that extra cushion that they get from their tax refunds, so they too will also spend some money. So we get all of this pull forward in demand, and we get those people that were broke and now they have money to buy a car. They come buy a car from us, we get cleaned out. And then, okay, we have to reload, but we do it slowly because auction prices go up because all of these other car dealers are experiencing the same thing that we do around that time period. Very, very, very busy, and this was just a little while ago. And usually what happens is it takes us a very long time to load back up our inventory to where I want it to be. And this year, it almost happened in an instant because a lot of other car dealers didn't experience tax time at the same level that we did. So prices actually fell off a cliff this year on the wholesale level for us, so we were able to go back in and buy a lot of cars very quickly. But here's the weird thing. Traditionally, as we're slowly building up cars, the reason why it takes us so long is because we're still selling through a lot of inventory. Even as prices are going down on a wholesale level, we're able to have cheaper cars out here after tax time because the prices have come down. And then we're able to offer cheap cars to our customers. Even though the demand's lower, we still sell through cars. But right now we're going through a phase where we're buying almost 2x as many cars as we're selling. And it's so bad right now that I've even taken a break now from buying cars. I've never done that before. Usually during this time of year, we're trying to build back up our inventory. And now I'm pulling back because the demand is so bad right now. It's been 2 weeks now. 2 weeks now since I bought a single car for my car dealership. I can't remember the last time. I've been doing this for 14 years, been selling cars for under $5,000 for 14 years. Never can I remember a time period where we went 2 weeks without buying a single car for my inventory. And it's not like we're getting a lot of messages, a lot of leads on these $2,500 and $3,000 cars. We're having people show up and they're driving and be like, oh, well, this is trash. I'm not going to buy it. That's not the case. What's happening is we're not even getting messages on these $2,500 cars for people to come look at them. And that's been a very weird scenario for us and what I've experienced over the last 14 years, because if I have a car out here that's a $2,500 car, doesn't matter what it looks like, cosmetically, doesn't matter what it runs like, mechanically, we're going to still have messages, leads on those cars and people coming to try to test drive that car. And right now the situation is we're not getting any of that. And when we do get messages on these cars, these $2,500, these $3,000 cars, what the message is, okay, well, how much is the down payment on it? Down payment meaning they want to finance the car. They want to finance these $2,500 cars. They can't pay for them outright. They don't have the money for it. So they want to, what's the payment going to be on a $2,500 car? $150 a month, whatever. But we don't offer financing, but people are still wanting to finance that low amount of car, just a $2,500 car, because they don't have the money. It's a very difficult scenario for us right now when we have all these cars that traditionally we would be getting blown up on, and right now we're not even getting messages on them. And just to give you reference of what we're going through right now, so the last numbers I saw for the month, we sold about 30 cars and we had bought about twice that many. This is why I've really pulled us back from buying cars, because we can't continue to buy at a 2-to-1 clip of what we're selling and then still be a successful business. So that's a lot of money going out and not a lot of money coming in, because you got to think we also have payroll. We have all these expenses that go along with running our business. We're a small used car dealership, but I still have a burn rate of about $40,000 a month. And if you know what we sell cars for, I make about $1,000 to $1,200 on average per car. So if I'm not selling 40 cars a month, then I am losing money. And that's not even me getting paid. That's not my wife getting paid, who also helps me run the business. We are taking zero money, and then on top of that, we're losing money if we don't get 40 cars out a month. Yes, we're still going to cover payroll. Everybody's going to get paid. All our bills are going to get paid. No problem. But if we want to actually make a paycheck, we got to sell 50, 60 cars a month. And 60 is really that goal that I want to hit every month, to be able to make the kind of money that I want to make, to take the risks that we're having out here. And we're not even getting close to that right now. So it's becoming very worrisome for me as a small business owner, as a car dealer, where we're just continuously buying inventory, because it's not only, okay, we have our burn rate and we have the actual money that we're making, but we have all this capital sitting out here. I don't finance any of my cars. I don't borrow money. So this is my cash sitting out here on the lots, going down in value when we slash the prices every single time. That's if we cut a price by $500, that's $500 that comes straight out of my pocket that I can't make on this car because we just lowered the price on it. And yes, I would like to make money in my business every single month, but right now, as slow as we are and as slow as I know the car market is, I'm considering break even a win. So if we can get to 40 cars a month right now for the next few months, then I'm very, very happy with that. As long as payroll gets paid and all the bills get covered and everything like that, even if my wife and we don't take a paycheck over the next few months, break even is a win. And it's crazy because through my 14 years of doing business, I have never said that. And I'm saying it right now, and I'm saying it with conviction right now, because I think, okay, we're seeing slowness right now, but I think throughout the course of this year, over the next 3-4 months, I think it's going to get a lot worse, because a lot of this pull forward in demand that's happened, it happened even more so than what's happened in previous years. And I think the drop off is going to be a lot steeper, and we're experiencing right now, than what we've seen in previous years. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to say as a business owner, but if I can just get my money back out every single month, as long as we're moving some of this old inventory, breaking even on a lot of these cars. Some of these cars we've marked down, we're only making $200-300. That's break even in small business speak. In those cases, that's a win for me. I just want to move inventory right now, get everything paid, and then maybe on the other side of this, prices will continue to dump off at auction. We can get prices a way lower, offer our consumer a lot lower prices, and still make money on the other side of that, because a lot of dealers are going to be in pain, and probably a lot of them are going to shut their doors after going through the same stuff that I'm going through. And I was about to say I'm not looking forward to other dealers shutting their doors, but I'm looking forward to the end of this inverse rainbow that we're experiencing right now, where things are going to get better on the other side. But we're going through a lot of pain right now. We're going to continue to experience that, and break even is a win. And if you're wondering why I'm just walking in front of the same 7 or 8 cars or whatever, we've actually got some customers here. I'm very happy about that. Hopefully they buy a car, but that's why you're seeing the same cars. But if you enjoy hearing about my car lot, my struggles, stuff that I'm seeing in the car market, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I do a lot of that here. All right, so what are we doing now? Well, I'm going to tell you as I walk in front of these same 7 cars again. Actually, I'll be able to walk a little bit farther, because these customers are going into the shop now. So we are effectively not buying cars right now. We've taken 2 weeks off, like I told you, and I'm actually going to start buying cars again next week, because we've sold a few this week. I think we're going to probably get around 10 cars this week. Not a great thing. 4 weeks in a month, sell 40 cars, that's break even. That's a win, like we just said. But we still have to replace cars that we sell, even though I don't want to be buying more than we're actually selling. So hopefully next week we'll still get to around that 10 car range. But what I'm going to do, Alex, who buys cars from me, is my mechanic. He goes to these auctions. I'm going to put limits on him. I'm going to say, okay, well, we're probably not going to pay any more than $2,500 for any given car. So that means we cap out at pretty much pricing cars at about $4,000. I'm going to bring that range down from where we're selling some cars for $5,000, going to bring them down to where we're only buying where we sell $4,000, so people can actually get into cars. And then we're also going to not be buying anything that needs work. He goes and checks out stuff. Now, we can't figure out everything. If something needs work, we could find out after the fact. But there's some things that he knows in the auction. Okay, it needs this. I know it's going to cost this. It's going to cost this much time, and we'll still buy that stuff. And take a little bit of a gamble on it because we just want the car and we think we make money on it. But I'm even going to take those out of his equation. I'm going to just make sure that he's buying stuff that at least seemingly at the auction looks like it's ready to go, ready to be sold. So it's going to limit the amount of cars that he can buy because I'm taking some of that variance out of the pool, whether it's going to be cars that are a little bit more on the high end of what we buy or stuff that he's going to have to fix after the fact. I don't want to be buying that stuff right now when we're not selling things. We want to be very strict with what we're buying now and stuff that we're not going to be gambling on, because I don't want any gambles out here when the stuff's not moving to begin with. So let's not throw on extra repair bills that we're not going to know about. And here's the thing, there's one thing that can play out here that becomes my worst nightmare. And that's that, okay, sales continue to not happen, but prices at auction go up. And well, I mean, if my sales are not good, I sell cars $5,000 and under, well, every other car dealer out there in the market, their sales are probably going to be junk too, right? Or I mean, they're going to be non-existent, and that's going to be true. So then, how, Brandon, can prices go up at auction? Well, the way that they can go up is if supply goes way, way, way down. The way that happens is if new car dealers don't sell cars. And we're already experiencing a lot of slowness from new car dealerships right now. And that's because they experienced a massive, massive pull forward in demand from all these people getting ahead of tariffs, trying to buy cars before the prices would go up. So now their cliff has been very steep. And we've already hearing reports from the last month that sales were very, 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 very slow for a lot of these new car manufacturers, for a lot of these new car franchises. And if that continues, well, what happens? People don't trade in their cars to them. That's how I get my cars. All these cars out here were new car trade-ins. I go to auction and I buy them from these new car franchise dealers. But if they're not selling, they don't get trade-ins, cars don't show up at auction, well, the supply craters at these new car auctions. And even though new used car dealers like myself aren't selling cars, well, the few cars that we are selling, we still have to replace. We still have to have inventory out here for people to buy, because you don't have inventory, you definitely can't make any money. You're definitely not going to sell any cars. So you still have to have inventory even if you're slow. So if that's the case, then you're going to have a lot of these car dealers that are fighting over a very, very small available source of cars, and that in itself pushes used car prices up. Now, where it becomes a nightmare is that we have to pay more at auction, and then we bring them here to our lot, and people aren't even willing to pay what we paid at auction. Because a lot of these cars that are behind me right now, I'm experiencing that right now. A lot of these cars we've cut down to only making less than $500. That's pretty much what we're paying at auction, the wholesale prices that I'm selling a lot of these cars for, and they're still not selling. So I might not even breaking even be at the price point for the market right now. It might be $500 under what I paid. And if that's the case, and if that's what happens 3, 4, 5 months from now, because new car dealers are so slow, inventory at auctions goes so low, prices go up, but the demand on the retail side is still crazy low like it is right now, well, that's a setup for a disaster for me and every other used car dealer that's out in the market right now. And that's my worst nightmare.